Hey guys, hope everybody's feeling good. So, one of the most important things we can do in programming is getting an input. We have a problem right now. You know why? We create these variables. For example, we say A equals 5 or B equals hello. Well, since when we're gonna use our own numbers? Aren't the user supposed to provide us with information because we don't have the information already or in advance? So one of the basic primary reasons we create variables is because we don't know what the value is. The value will be provided by the user. So first of all, how can we get a value from the user? And second, how can we store it in a variable? So for that, we need to use a function called input. But what's a function? We're not going to define functions. We're not going to go into it, but I'm going to give you a very general definition. A function is a bunch of commands which have a very specific goal. For example, if you want to divide a number, say a divided by b, if b is 0, then this is not good because the answer would be infinity, would be undefined. It has no meaning. So if I want to do division, I need to have some conditions. I can say if b is not 0, then it's okay. I can print a divided by b. Else, well, I gotta print b can't be 0, for example. So now say I wanna use division 200 times in my program. Can't I somehow write this code once and use it how many times I want? Yes, we can. We can say this is a function. We use the keyword def. It doesn't matter. We'll talk about it very, very soon. So I say def and give it a name like div for division. All right. And somehow we chain all these commands together. Now I can just say div and give it two numbers like 3 and 4. This 4 will be B, this 3 will be A, and all this logic will be applied on these numbers. So wherever I want to do division, I simply call the name that I gave to this function. That's it. Now, many commands that you already use, like print, like len that we learned, these are actually functions that you use them. So we have another function called input, which gets some value from the user. Obviously, to print something or to get the length of an array or to get input from the user, this needs a lot of code. But Python developers already wrote those codes and gave it a name. Now we can just call that name and use the functionality. Okay, VS Code input. When you use input, it can show something on the screen. What does that mean? Let's hit F5 right now, see what happens. F5. So as you can see, the program is running. It hasn't stopped. It's running. It's waiting for me to provide a value. So I'll do this. I'll hit enter, and the program is finished. Because that's all you said. You said get an input. So it got an input. How can I save it to a variable? Very easily. You say A equals input. F5 again. Now I provide a number this time, enter, Again, nothing happens. And why should it? You just said get an input and save it in A. That's it. Now I'm going to say get an input and then print whatever is saved in A. F5. I say Talbs Media. I'll hit enter. And as you can see, that exact same thing that I provided is printed. So how would the user know what to provide? It's very easy. You can write your message here. For example, enter your age. F5. Now it says enter your age. It's waiting. I'll provide a value. Enter. And 20 is printed. So that's how I can get some input from the user. Now, say you are saving a student's grade and you have 20 students. What should we do then? Isn't that array thingy that we talked about, that concept of array and lists, wouldn't that be useful in such a situation?